Lots of news out of the state of Florida today. Yesterday, we told you that the Florida State Senate passed a bill revoking a special tax district that Disney had taken advantage of since 1967. Well, today, the Florida House of Representatives passed the same bill. It now goes to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk for his signature. In other news out of Florida, the Florida Department of Health released new guidance yesterday that opposes transgender drugs and surgeries for children and rejects the recent statements by the Biden administration regarding what they call gender-affirming care. Joining me now to discuss all of it is Florida State Senator Dennis Baxley. Senator Baxley, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you.
We are glad to have you. You voted on this bill yesterday. The State House voted on the bill today. There was quite a scene on the House of the Florida State Representatives, House of Representatives today. I want to play clip 4 and then get you a chance to respond to that.
The clerk will unlock the machine and members will proceed to vote on Senate Bill 4C. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? Clerk will lock the machine. Announce the vote.
70 yeas, 38 nays.
Show the bill passes.
Senator Baxley, a lot of energy there in the State House. Was it like that in the Senate as well?
No, we actually had a very calm meeting. There are some intense emotions about how to interpret this map. But in fact, this is the map that the governor chose to be involved in. We had sent him a different map, but he does sign off on that. So he's sort of the final checkpoint. And he's convinced that some of what we're doing with these specified districts, majority minority districts, is inappropriate. Matter of fact, some of them fall below any majority in the district. It's down around 41%. And so anyway, he is challenging that concept. And we also have a number of people elected in the Senate that are African-American who ran in districts that aren't enumerated to be minority majority districts, and yet they win. So I actually think it's a good measure that assimilation has improved. And that's the ultimate.
Senator Baxley?
Yes.
I want to be clear because I know we're talking about a lot of districts, and I'm specifically referring to the tax district that Disney it was involved with, and the scene around the repeal of their tax treatment. And there's been some indications that in the past, it's been the left, it's been the Democrats who were concerned about Disney as a corporation getting special treatment from the government. Now they seem to be the ones who are concerned about having that special treatment taken away. Is that true? Is that what's been happening in Florida?
Yes. Well, this confrontation with Disney coming out and saying we should not have passed the bill and they were going to fight to have it repealed put us in a very awkward position with them. And so there was a review of what are the things that we do for them. They have thousands of issues. This is one issue, this bill, which has to do with just affirming that parents are in charge and they have a say in what they're exposed to at school, and that we would not teach these kinds of issues in kindergarten through third grade. And after that, it would be what is age appropriate by state standards. So this was the reaction a little bit late. I sponsored this bill. I never had anybody call me from Disney until after it was all over. And then it was trying to kind of patch the gate because they knew they have a very unique situation with their community districts. And the way that worked out was that they were trying to attract Disney to Florida back in the 60s, 67. This thing is wide open. They answer to no local government. They have their own kingdom. They do their own permitting. They do their own planning. There's no one outside. They do law enforcement. They do all these things under this broad district, also emergency care. And they do some gun control too, because I know I have a son that's been in there as a police officer with a concealed weapon, and they pulled him out and talked to him for a while, and then they followed everywhere he went in the park. So
Senator Baxley?
it's an isolated world.
Yeah. And in this issue, this apparent conflict between Disney and the state of Florida is receiving a lot of attention. Is this a case of the Florida legislature simply updating some code that needed to be updated in light of the world that we live in now, as opposed to 1967? Or is this intended to influence how Disney behaves politically in the future?
I think it's more about shedding light that we had a very special arrangement with them. They support the majority party members, and we usually try to accommodate their need. They're a huge employer for us. But all this exposure, their brand is in serious decay. Used to anything Disney was wholesome family stuff. And so there was not a lot the same questionings. But then we started looking back at what are our agreements and what kind of authorities do we have with them. And we discover we're in this posture that hasn't been reviewed in 50 years. So it's going to be a difficult exercise for them, I think, to come out of this unscathed. Quite frankly, I think they did some poor calculating that if they attacked the governor and the legislature in the position they took, plus they didn't come up during discussion, they came up and after the fact. And so they're caught in this gap between their gay staff and their cartooning and stuff like that. Then you start looking at the content. You had full confidence. If it was Disney, then it was wholesome. But now they've embraced the woke outlook, and they're promoting this intervention. Do you really trust them even for kids?
Senator Baxley, I had wanted to get into the next topic because the state of Florida has issued guidance around how to deal with children who have gender dysphoria in direct conflict with what the White House has told us. Unfortunately, we are out of time, so we're going to have to do that again. Senator Baxley, thank you so much for your time today. Great.
You bet.